Whoa! That was really loud in my ear, Albie. Albie, do you think you could sew something based off of a Webtoon character? Yes? Thank you. You already know that I love anime, I love manga, all of that good stuff. But recently I started getting into Webtoons, and that is all thanks to Manta Comics, the sponsor of today's video. And I want to talk about, girl, let's have a sit down real quick. I want to talk about Flower of Allure, okay? The spicy, yes, spicy Webtoon that I've been reading. It's something that I should not be reading in public, and I have learned that lesson the hard way a couple times. All right, so the original story is by Mumi, and the illustration and the writer are both the same person or the same team, and this is from Godago. Let me tell you, this is the first time reading a webtoon. But anyways, let me give you the summary, okay? You have your girl Eon-so, you have your main protagonist Eon-so, right? She just wants to live a quiet life. All that she's wanted in life is just to have a quiet, peaceful life. She lives on a beautiful island. She's doing what she loves, which is helping out the trees. She's an arborist. Overall, just a very calm and peaceful life. But she has a secret. And that secret is upstairs on her second floor, okay? On the second floor of her apartment is a killer. But the thing about this killer is that he's comatose, been in a coma for the past 2 years. Okay, like how did that even happen? But let's just say Miss Homegirl, Miss Eon-so, she's living her life. You know, she's living her life, she's happy. She's like, this guy hasn't woken up in 2 years. I'm gonna be good. Until one day, he does. If you walk in the room to check up on your comatose killer guy that's on your second floor and he's no longer on that bed, turns out he's right behind you, turns out he's this giant big guy and he's handsome, and he's about to kill you potentially because he has like a needle to your throat, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna like scream, cry, what? Lie? Turns out Miss Eon-so decides to lie, and she comes up with the best lie that she has in her brain at that time. You can't kill me because I'm your wife. So this whole story is about her trying to survive this man, or potentially trying to change him, because this guy has no recollection of his life prior. He didn't even really know his name. And it's part romance, part mystery, because of course we don't know like why was he killing that person or anything, you know what I'm saying? Is there romance up to where I am right now? Kind of yes, kind of no. It is, like I said, spicy, which was like a woo! Again, do not read this when you're on public transportation because, whoa, wait, hey, what's she reading there? I do like that there's definitely some comedic relief, and I really do actually like the characters. Sometimes it's really hard for me to actually enjoy when I read something that is romance kind of based. I typically don't actually read anything that is romance, but what does interest me as someone who does love true crime, he is a killer. A hot killer. I mean, Mr. Che Woo Kwan, he is handsome. He's a handsome guy, handsome killer. But we need to know why exactly, like what's happening in his brain and all that stuff. So yeah, there's definitely some shenanigans, but we're gonna bring it back. And let me quickly tell you how this even happens, because you might be like, what? How, girl? How? Picture this. Eon-so is up in the mountains because she loves trees. She's an arborist. She takes care of the trees and everything. At nighttime, when she finishes up, she goes up to the mountains because she's like, I know those trees are neglected and I want to help them out. As she's doing that, helping them out, she has like all of her equipment, her little chainsaw, well, I guess her big chainsaw and everything. She just hears a man screaming out in the woods. Actually, I probably would have ran away, but you know, she lives on a nice peaceful island, so maybe you would want to go ahead and like check that out, see if someone, you know, actually needs help. But in doing that, she sees that there's a man getting buried alive by a man that is tall, wearing all black, and he looks like he's enjoying killing this man. Once she actually realizes that, she's like, I gotta get the hell out of here. Immediately tries to retreat, but of course we're in the mountains, and she steps on a twig. Damn, girl, she steps on a twig. Of course, the killer does the final blow to the man that he's burying and immediately goes after her. She's running as fast as she can, right? Because she's a gingerbread man. But unfortunately, the killer is super agile and catches up to her in no time. And then all of a sudden has like a thread or wire around her neck. And she's basically just like, okay, I might die here. And in that moment, you know, she kind of thinks to herself, like, how can I get out of this? Thinks about the resilience of, you know, the trees that she loves so much, and she has a chainsaw in her hands, so She grazes the killer, and that's when we get to see his face, and that's when you see like, oh, this man is handsome. So we already know where this is going, like, oh, handsome man, like that is a bad boy, bad man, I guess, yeah. In that, you know, we're thinking, okay, homegirl's gonna get away. No, turns out that the man that he thought that the killer killed, turns out he ain't dead. So he gets back up and whacks the killer upside the head with a giant rock, and he flees for it. Now homegirl is looking at this guy who just rolled off the cliff, and he's knocked out, potentially dead, and she's like, what the hell? And that's when we get the flash forward that he's been at her place for the past 2 years. I don't want to say more of it because we do end up seeing like how she even got into that situation and everything, but we're gonna just leave it at that. But this webtoon is super interesting, and I do want to talk about the characters a little bit more in depth later on in the video. But I just want to say that Manta actually is holding a very special event for all your homies. The first 50 people to click the link in my description box will be able to read this series for free. All you have to do is activate your gem, and that's it. You'll be able to read it. Now this webtoon isn't done yet. Actually, right now they just dropped another episode, and I really want to watch. Actually are, I think, 2 or 3 free episodes out there, so you're not using up all of your gems all at once. But I really hope that you give the webtoon a read. Yeah, just like the artwork, the storyline, I'm super intrigued. And as I was reading it, something just kept popping up all the time about Eon's character. I started thinking, I was like, you know what? Maybe I should try to sew something based off of her character. And so there are 2 things that I always see that she's wearing. She wanted to sew something that is actually wearable, and maybe something else that I need in my wardrobe. So let's bring it back to Past Natalie, where I actually sewed some items, and I'm very excited to show you. Okay, so the first thing that we're gonna do is make like a little neck scarf thing, something that Eon always wears when she's out doing her actual job as an arborist. And so I have this scrap fabric. I'm gonna use this as a template, but instead of having it just the edges be like this, the finishing on the sides, instead what I want to do is do that same kind of like seam. We are going to be doing a marrow edge. This actual fabric doesn't have a front and back, it just has a front. So I folded it over. I'm gonna mark out this. So I want this a little bit wider, but I'm just gonna mark this for right now. So I don't normally actually read or watch any kind of like romance-y. What I like is that our female lead isn't what I like to call a merp girl. Me and my friend Mafe always talk about merp girls. And merp girls in romance stuff is just always like too innocent, even though they're already past the age of being innocent. Come on, girl. I'm sure there is something more to you than just being like, I've never been in love. You know, it's just like there's nothing really there. I would like the female character to like, they have maybe like a little bit more backbone. Maybe they could be mean. Maybe they can be more assertive and stuff. But sometimes that just isn't the case in anime or in mangas. Our girl isn't a merp girl. Okay, she does definitely have some times where I would say really, oh god, I would say she's really innocent. That isn't all that she is. Like, she is very passionate about what she does. There are also some times where she kind of switches. Like, not only is she really funny in like what is happening that is like kind of like so serious. Like, I do understand at the end of the day, the guy is an actual killer. Like, despite him being how, you know, as hot as he is, like the guy is a killer, and that is scary to have around you. But there are like moments that she gets the courage to be assertive. She has these moments where she's like, oh man, wait, what do I do? And then she kind of finds the strength, and she's like, no, this is what it's gonna be, and like boom boom boom, she puts her foot down. I appreciate that as a female reader, and someone I would say who is older. Maybe if I was in a younger audience, maybe that my thinking would be a little bit different. And on top of that, in the story, like, she's 32. We're not that far apart, girl. So something else that Flower of Allure has inspired me to create is, I don't know if you guys remember my 30 or 31 summer patterns that you need to try out, but I talked about this wide brim hat, the Aisha hat from Slow Morning Studio. So I printed out the pattern, and we're actually gonna make it. All right, so we're gonna be using this fabric that I got from Japan, finally. After constantly always seeing Eon in this sun hat, which granted, like, hers is probably like a straw hat, not a straw hat, woven. It's like a woven straw hat. No, maybe it's time for me to actually make this wide brim hat that I keep saying I'm gonna make, but then I never do. The Aisha hat is actually reversible, so I have 2 options. Fabric suggestions. They did say to pick something that's heavy, medium to heavy weight. I do have these jeans I've been meaning to use for like another thrift flip project, and I'm like, oh, it's pink, maybe I could have it. Only thing with the pink, and I feel like it doesn't stick out enough contrast for me, that I feel like if it's gonna be a reversible hat, like I want it to kind of pop. So that's where this extra fabric from Janet's dress is. The only problem is that this is very thin. That's the only thing. I do have interfacing, but I'm not sure if that's gonna be enough. I don't know, which one would you guys do? Would you do the pink denim or the burnt orange cotton? Now let's talk about our male protagonist here, Mr. Che-woo Kwon. He a killer. And you know, a lot of girls would be turned off by that. Listen, man, they just make him so likable. Like, he's able to switch between, you know, that killer persona that it's still there, but then this Eon kind of tries to bring him back to like, no, you're actually like really nice. And I guess it's kind of interesting to see like nature versus nurture thing. Like, if someone is a killer, like, will they always have that inside of them? When he gets in trouble by Miss Eon, like, you know, he feels bad and it's kind of like a little puppy. Again, it makes you forget the guy is a killer. She witnessed him killing somebody and it looked like he enjoyed it. But just wondering, like, is he gonna become like, you know, this really nice soft version, or is that killer side of him gonna come out more? When he's with Eon, he becomes really obedient, which is like, what more do you want in a man that actually listens to you? You know what I'm saying? As far as I've read, we don't know like what are his motivations, like why is he the way he is? What's the family history that's happening? Does he have a tragic backstory that makes you really just like fall in love with him more? I don't know. A couple hours later, but my pieces are cut. I'm gonna continue this in the morning where we're gonna sew everything down. It's another day. Very excited. So first thing to tackle is the little scarf. Part of me was like, I could do the purple route, which is what I did for my curtains, or I could go for like a bluey color. I wanted to stick out and I wanted to have a contrast, and I think this green and blue is probably gonna have that. Okay, and as we start this, let's talk about my, I would say, favorite character in Flower of Allure, and that is Miss Ge. You know, she's an older woman that is doing things her own way, working in an industry that, you know, it's more like male oriented, which the way that we get introduced to your character, at first we we're thinking like, oh my god, is she just like mean or something? But she's not. She's just a little bit more straightforward. You know, she's like, she wants to get things done. And then the next interaction that we really see is her trying to set up Eon, because she's like, girl, he got money, he's good looking, he's the son of a CEO and all that stuff. Eon kind of tells her like, you know what, girl, like, no, I'm not trying to do that. She's like, what are you talking about, girl? Like, are you hearing yourself? Which is like, I think the funniest thing is that once she actually finds out about the whole thing without knowing the actual details, because she can't know the real details, but more so kind of like the gist of it. She's his wife and all that stuff, and she's like, what are you talking about? Like, this is so crazy. And then Eon, I don't know, the guy's voice, hears him from behind, and she's just like, who that? The moment she sees homeboy, she's like, son-in-law. Which is like, girl, I would do the same thing. I would be like, are you so crazy and everything, but brother, come here. Come here. She's so real for that. She is so real for that, and she is completely on board. But I really like her. I like what she adds to the story. Yeah, I'm excited to see more from her, and she's the one that in the story I would say is serving the fashion. Okay, she has a certain style that she likes to wear. I hope that she kind of rubs off a little bit on Miss Eon, you know, kind of gives her a little bit of some fashion advice, maybe like, oh, try this silhouette out or something like that. Maybe there might be an episode where, you know, Eon has like a Cinderella moment where she's like out of like plain casual clothes and it's something really nice, probably something sexy. And the other thing that I love is that like she knows that in this game of life you gotta play man, and it's not in like a evil way or anything like that. Like, she's doing it maliciously. It's just more so like in a male dominated field, in a place where, you know, in a place where men underestimate women, which is literally everywhere. Miss Ge is there to make sure that she's not getting played, that Eon's not getting played, that they come out on top at the end of the day. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that they have each other's back. I thought initially it was gonna be like Eon is the only female lead that we have that is good. She's there to help her, the supporting character, to help her throughout this whole crazy thing. Moving along, we're gonna get to the sun hat. Oh my god, I'm so excited, but I'm also really scared. But I'm excited, and I'm so happy that I finally got the push to actually make this, because I've been saying I'm gonna make a hat for forever and I never do. But thank you. Sister gave me some really good advice. She told me, she's like, go with the denim rather than fabric. It's just like less work and it will hold better. What she suggested, she's like, if it seems like it's a little bit too pale, she said to go over it with a contrasting thread so that it's actually gonna pop. A little reminder for anyone who doesn't do this, but when you are working on a new project, change your needle. Granted, the last project I was working with was like, I'm using like a very thin, I guess a needle for like thin, finer fabrics. I'm gonna switch to a heavy duty needle because of the denim that's there. I'm not trying to break any needles. We're trying to make sure that these stitches go on our fabric really nicely. So yeah, I used to tend to forget, but now I do it all the time. Make sure to do a test run on a scrap piece of fabric. Don't do it on your actual fabric, to make sure that your stitches are the right tension and length that you want, and there's no puckering and all of that stuff. So alrighties, it's finally sewing time, which means I'm gonna play the music. We're gonna start. I'm gonna play the music IRL, and I'm gonna play the music on the YouTube life. And I will see you in a little bit.
Follow me to my favorite tree. Well, I'm offering a steady hand. I could be your security. There's no guarantee on anything. And I'll take care of you along the way. My love, one day at a time, will leave our troubles behind. And you'll take care of me along the way. My love, one day at a time, will leave our troubles behind. Here with you in our treetop view. Well, it takes me to when I was young. I fell before, but I can't.
Oh my god, I'm getting so excited. Do you want to see? Ooh, ooh. Oh my god, this looks so good. I mean, I don't know, but oh.
It's nothing like I'm falling now. No, it's nothing like I'm falling now. And I'll take care of you along the way.
Dun, 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 dun. It is honestly so simple. This was like the easiest thing to make. You do see the green on the back, but I think it's so cute, and definitely more so my version of her little scarf. I don't know whether I should cut this like a little bit shorter. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I wonder what if I made like a beret in this fabric. Right? What I do like about the length of it is that it actually is even long enough to put around. So I could do like this situation. Super simple. If you have a serger, definitely try this out so you too can have your own little neck scarf. Art school kind of vibes, like, you know, there's just like little splotches of paint, which I think looks really cute. And I guess that goes with the character, right? So Eon has flowers, while I have colors, because that's what I like. But let's get into the sun hat. Ah! Okay, y'all ready to see the sun hat? It is so cute. It is so cute. Look how cute this is. My own sun hat now. Look how cute. adorable. This is absolutely adorable. And you know what? I thought I was gonna like the sun hat more with the print on the other side, but I like how it sticks out this way. Oh my god. And overall, I would say this is so beginner friendly. There wasn't a lot of like techniques or anything that you really had to know to do this. So definitely try this out, and you can get your own sun hat and you could be matchy with Miss Eon So. Wait, let me show you on the other side. This is the other way. I just think I would rather have a whole bunch of pattern, you know, in my face rather than just neutral. But I guess if I was feeling a little bit more low-key, I guess I could use it that way. Oh my god, this is so cute. Happy to have the sun hat. This is gonna be out with me every day as I walk Albie. That's right. And I honestly can't get over this. I feel so cute in this. If you guys remember my Style Ruts video, I was talking about how you can take a character and dress them up in different situations. So we're gonna use that and style the pieces that I made in some outfits that I think might emulate or kind of give off Eon's vibe. So let's get into it. Got the best part. I mean, I think it looks cute at least. I honestly should wear this outfit out more. The first time I actually tried this on was for the Soga King little cosplay that I did for the One Piece Orchestra. It's gone, but actually this outfit alone I think is pretty solid. And given like what it is that Eon does, I think it goes kind of with it. It's brown for the trees. We're gonna think of it that way. I mean, but anyways, it's just an opportunity again when I was talking about Style Ruts of just trying to style characters in different outfits. For this one, I feel like because she is so not my style, or at least from what we've seen, it's been really casual and everything. So I'm trying to style her more so like with my type of outfit, but still taking inspiration from the character and seeing what I can come up with in my own wardrobe. This is a pretty solid look actually, so cute. Outfit number one, little arborist. Boom, gonna plant some trees, gonna help some trees. I'm a tree doctor. If I was a tree doctor and I had to always, you know, be in my little jumpsuit, my jumpsuit would look more like this. Let me top off with a hat. Do I look like a tree doctor? Maybe I'm a flower doctor. Obviously her jumpsuit is like probably more, not tactical, but it's breathable than this corduroy jumpsuit that I have, but that's all I had, and I just wanted to, I don't know, play around with some more color. And I'm also wearing some sneakers, so a little bit more casual. Granted, these have some platforms. My sister gave me these actually. These are, I don't know how to say it, Superga platform sneakers, and they're actually really comfortable. Obviously right now if I were to go outside in this I would die because it's really hot, but maybe this would be like a colorful fall kind of look, like maybe a transitioning time outfit or something. Okay, I'm actually kind of surprising myself here because number one, I could fit in these shorts again, but then I just realized that the zipper is broken, so that's unfortunate. But anyways, I always see that Eon is always in like some kind of like button-up short situation. Normally like button-up and like casual shorts, and I don't have those exactly. So instead I went with some jean shorts. I added in this cute little crop top. We added in some sneakers. You already know your girl's normally not in sneakers. I really want to wear boots right now because I need it. I need to feel a little bit taller, you know what I'm saying? Now, the next outfit and our final outfit for her, okay, I'm hoping that we get in a chapter where she kind of like dresses up a little bit more and stuff, so let me put that on. I think you already know that this webtoon can be a little bit spicy. What is spicier than a slinky, silky kind of slip dress? Also really like that there are just like red flowers. I added in this green scarf. You know, I just put it over like this, but I think that would look really cute. Added in some black heels. I hope that maybe, you know, there might be a little chapter in there where she, you know, puts on a nice little dress, but hopefully it's gonna have some kind of flowers the same way that her little neck scarf does. I think that would be really cute. If this maybe is a little bit too spicy, another kind of like flower dress that I thought would look cute would be this one. Just something that's like cute and more like princess-like, I think would really fit with her character. Trying to put my hair up because she normally has her hair either off to the side or it's just down. I mean, this is what I really like about just styling stuff, and especially when I was talking about the style, you know, Style Ruts and stuff. Like, again, this character isn't one that I would say like her wardrobe and my wardrobe match, but it's just more so using the creativity, using your brain to think about like, oh, how can I emulate her. It's just giving your brain kind of like a little bit of an exercise. So I thought this was a really fun little challenge to do. Alrighty, homies, and that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and of course thank you so much to Manta Comics for sponsoring today's video. And remember, the first 50 people to click the link in the description box and activate their gem will be able to read the series for free. So I really hope you guys will check this out. I want to continue reading it, but maybe I should put a little pause. Oh, Albie, you trying to read too? He's trying to read too. He's like, girl, where the next episode at? Listen, if you read it, DM a girl. I need someone to talk to about this. But anyways, join me in reading Flower of Allure, and I will catch you guys in the next one. That is all for this video. Ah, wave. Wave. Say thank you, Manta. Okay, bye.